Welcome into Rockets Today, presented by PrizePicks. I am your host, Jeremy Chuggs, and we have conflicting reports around Luka Doncic and Austin Reaves and whether or not they are going to be able to return for this series. And I know it's probably beating a dead horse at this point. You're like, Jeremy, you've made, 3 or 4 videos around these two guys and their injuries. But we keep on getting new information, and now I'm thinking that one of these guys is more likely to return than the other, and it might be sooner than we think. Reminder, I'll be going live for Game 1. Rockets going to LA, the Crypto.com arena. The number 5 Rockets going up against the number 4 Los Angeles Lakers. Saturday, 7:30 Central Time. I'll be live here on the channel, so don't miss a beat. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and a little friendly competition. We also have a Lakers channel here at Chat Sports. So I talked to producer and host Coop, Mr. Jeffrey Cooperstein, and I said, hey, who do you think could get more subs throughout this series? He said, obviously it's the Lakers. I said, bet. So help me prove him wrong. Rockets fans, show up, and let's beat the Lakers in a sub battle. Go down and hit that subscribe button. We just passed 1,000 subs. Help me prove Jeff wrong. Let me know if you're ready for some Rockets content because, hey, the more subs we get, the more help I'll get here on Rockets Today. Now, to my good friend Will, a.k.a. at Bice Houston, and a quick programming alert. I will be live with Will tomorrow here on the channel. We're doing a little collab, so shout out to my guy Will, one of the top Texans content creators out there, said he'd be down to come and talk round 1 up against the Lakers tomorrow here on the channel. This is what he had to say, though. ESPN's Dave McMenamin reported Thursday that sources told ESPN they have no expectation of having either Doncic or Reaves back at any point in the first round. Rockets in 5. And I think we all agree if Doncic and Reaves are not coming back at all for this series, the Rockets easily are the favorites, right? They are easily the favorites to win this series outright and probably in 5 or 6 games, if you ask me. The Lakers, they'll do what's best for them moving forward, not just for this season. Because, if you're watching this and you're a Lakers fan, maybe you have a different opinion. Maybe you can tell me in the chat. But I don't think Lakers fans, I don't think people in this organization truly believe that they have a chance to contend this season. I think LeBron halfway, half foot out the door. I think he's ready to, possibly make his last run in Cleveland in the next couple of years. I think the Lakers are ready to move on with Luka Doncic, build around him, and bring in kind of a new, fresh, surrounding team around him. And, they don't want to jeopardize that moving forward. But coming up next, Austin Reaves has given Lakers fans some hope this week. And a Pro Football Doc, one of the best online Twitter docs, a former doctor for actually the San Diego Chargers, weighs in on Austin Reaves and Luka Doncic. I'll tell you what he had to say here in just a moment, but I couldn't do today's show if it wasn't for our friends over at PrizePicks. Me and producer Reed, we like to make a lot of money, and the way we do that is with our friends over at PrizePicks. Today's show is made possible by PrizePicks. PrizePicks is the place to go if you love daily fantasy sports. Player picks are on fire right now because we got playoff basketball. It's getting going. There's no better place to cash in while watching sports than with PrizePicks, America's #1 sports picks apps. It's super simple and user-friendly. All you got to do is create a lineup with 2 to 6 player stat projections and then just go more or less. And the fun part about it, you don't have to just do basketball. You can mix in baseball, hockey, esports, all in the same lineup, right? Like you can have a baseball player and a basketball player, a hockey player and a tennis player all together. I didn't do that for this one. I did all basketball for my lineup. This is what I have going. It's a 3-pick power play on Saturday, $5 to pay $48.75. I'm going Alpi, more on the double-double. It's a demon pick. You see that red right there? That means the payout is a little higher. Also, LeBum, I'm going 2.5 3-pointers made. He's their only scoring option. So I think, him getting 2.5 3-pointers, I think I'm going the more on that. And then Amen Thompson, that's points and assists combined, 23.5. I think that's great value. You can follow my lineup on the new social feeds tab. You can follow me and just, put in the lineups that I do, or just go make your own. but do it with our friends over at PrizePicks. New user offer for you. Download the PrizePicks app today with the link in the comments and description and use code HMA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code HMA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. Now, let's talk about this photo that I showed y'all just a moment ago. This was Austin Reaves at practice getting up shots. And you think, an oblique injury, the hardest thing, like you're going up, that's affecting your upper body. But it looked like he was up there putting in shots in the gym as the Lakers were preparing for their first round series up against the Houston Rockets. He was doing, free throw, just, standing free throws, nothing crazy. And this isn't saying like he's fully ready to go. But I think this is a good sign for Austin Reaves. And my good friend, Dr. David Chow, agrees with me. Pro Football Doc usually talks about, football injuries, but he weighed in on Luka Doncic and Austin Reaves. This is what he had to say. If Luka Doncic returns even one game too early and injures his hamstring, he will miss the rest of the playoffs. I believe he will be out for the entire first round, but I think Austin Reaves still has a chance to play for the Lakers at some point versus Houston. Very interesting. This going against Dave McMenamin's reporting earlier on that I told you about. But, if the doctor thinks it makes more sense for Austin Reaves to play, maybe he's got something, right? Reaves suffered a grade 2 left oblique strain on April 2nd up against the Thunder. The injury usually takes 4 to 6 weeks. So really, realistically, you're looking at more of a return at the beginning of next month. But he could possibly come back quicker if it heals a little faster for him. And like I said, he was practicing on Wednesday by himself, not with everybody, but after everybody was done, not, doing the full runs with all the players, just kind of putting up shots by himself. And the injury is to his non-dominant. So it's on his left side. He's a right shooter. I mean, I know it's, all connected. You're moving your entire body throughout the game, but it is something to be said. It's on your non-dominant side, right? I mean, at least that helps a little bit if he's trying to come back. Yeah, only righty layups. Force him left. But, that does lend, the question, could he return quicker than Luka Doncic if either of them return at all this series? So I'm going to ask you right now, who do you think is more likely to return? Type Luka or type Austin down below in the comment section. If you think it's Luka Doncic who's more likely to return, type Luka. If you think it's Austin Reaves, go down and type Austin. I mean, from what I just heard from Pro Football Doc, I'm thinking it's Austin Reaves, right? And I agree. Like, we've all, especially, in the city of Houston, if you watch football, Will Fuller. He was a wide receiver for the Houston Texans. He had hamstring injuries and always tried to return too quick. And the re-injury and the tearing of the hamstrings, that is a fickle mistress. If you start tearing those hamstrings, that could really affect you down the road and your ability to recover, right? Like, those soft tissue injuries are really tough to gauge. For Austin Reaves, on the other hand, the left oblique strain, I think, obviously still a soft tissue, but you're not like planting on it. It's much different whenever you're running and planting on that soft tissue injury rather than it being an upper body injury. I think that lends itself to make it where it's a little bit easier probably for Reaves to return than it is for Luka Doncic. Now, before I get out of here, I did want to talk a little bit about the play-in, and I just think it's pretty interesting because just when you think they're all, said and done, the Warriors keep on freaking winning. And Steph put out an absolute banger in that NBA play-in game. 35 points, 4 assists, 7 of 12 from 3, a plus-minus of +9 while he was on the court. A Steph Curry masterclass. And this leads to a very interesting matchup as the last spot in the playoffs in the West is up for grabs between the Warriors and the Suns. And I found this post pretty funny from Brad Out. He's another, awesome Rockets content creator. The NBA script is cooking. Jalen Green revenge game for a chance to make the playoffs against the Warriors. The team that, when you think about it, was probably the straw that broke the camel's back and the reason why the Rockets traded Jalen Green in the first place. The Rockets had the number 2 seed last year. They lost to the Warriors in round 1 after they won the play-in game. And after that loss, the Rockets said, I don't know if we can win with Jalen Green. So I'm tuned in. I'm very interested in this game to see who ends up winning it. Tapped in. Yeah, I'm ready to go. And I'm very interested to see how Jalen Green plays up against the Golden State Warriors, the team that basically sent him out of Houston this past season, just about a year ago at this same point. Now, that's all I have for you on today's show, folks. If you want to hit me up on X, you can do so at Jeremy Chugs. My DMs are always open. And reminder, I'm bringing Will, a.k.a. Biased Houston, onto the show tomorrow. I'm trying to go live. We might just do a video. We might go live. But either way, be on the lookout for that. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and make sure to tune in to our watch party on Saturday night for Rockets versus Lakers, Game 1.